ਸਤਿ ਸ਼੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ ਸਵਾਗਤ ਹੈ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਦਾ ਸਾਡੀ ਇਸ ਖਾਸ ਪੇਸ਼ਕਸ਼ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਮੈਂ ਹਾਂ ਰੁਪਿੰਦਰ ਕੌਰ। ਹਾਲ ਹੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਟੀਡੀ ਬੈਂਕ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਕੈਨੇਡਾ ਵੀਜ਼ਾ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਇੱਕ ਸਟ੍ਰੈਟੇਜਿਕ ਰਿਲੇਸ਼ਨਸ਼ਿਪ ਅਨਾਉਂਸ ਕੀਤੀ ਗਈ ਹੈ ਜੋ ਕਿ ਨਿਊ ਕਮਰਸ ਨੂੰ ਧਿਆਨ ਵਿੱਚ ਰੱਖ ਕੇ ਐਲਾਨੀ ਗਈ ਹੈ। ਪਰ ਕੀ ਕੁਝ ਹੈ ਇਸ ਸਟ੍ਰੈਟੇਜਿਕ ਰਿਲੇਸ਼ਨਸ਼ਿਪ ਵਿੱਚ ਖਾਸ ਅਤੇ ਕਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਇਸ ਨਾਲ ਨਿਊ ਕਮਰਸ ਦੀ ਮਦਦ ਹੋਏਗੀ, ਇਸੇ ਸੰਬੰਧੀ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕਰਨ ਲਈ ਸਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਖਾਸ ਤੌਰ ਤੇ ਸਟੂਡੀਓ ਵਿੱਚ ਮੌਜੂਦ ਨੇ ਮਿਸਟਰ ਮੁਹੰਮਦ ਕਾਰਾ ਜੋ ਕੈਨੇਡੀਅਨ ਪਰਸਨਲ ਬੈਂਕਿੰਗ ਦੇ ਸੀਨੀਅਰ ਮੈਨੇਜਰ ਨੇ। Hello and welcome to BDC.
Thank you very much for having me.
So definitely we'll talk about this strategic relationship of TD Bank with the Canada Visa. But tell us more about yourself, your background and your role with TD.
Sure. So at TD, I lead the New to Canada team, which is an awesome group of individuals that we've brought together from so many different parts of the bank. We have people from product, from the business, from acquisition, marketing, risk, our branch, our extensive branch network. And all these people have been brought together in one team. And we're all focused specifically on delivering the best experiences for newcomers to Canada. I'm very proud to be one of the leaders of that team and to do my part to improve those experiences for newcomers. This means a lot to me personally. While I am a second generation Canadian, my first language was Gujarati. I come from an Indian background and I also come from a family of immigrants. My parents, for example, left Uganda in the 1970s, came to Canada then, built their life here. I have family history from across Africa and India, so personally working in this segment, working for newcomers means a lot to me from a personal perspective.
And how long you have been associated with TD?
I've been working at TD for just over 8 years now.
We'll talk about this strategic relationship, but before designing about this, the whole concept with Canada Visa, how long did it took and what was the research behind it?
Sure, the reason behind the strategic relationship with Canada Visa really comes down to one thing, which is that, we know that newcomers, when they come to Canada, have a lot of things on their mind. And there's a lot of research that they do before they arrive. There's a lot of research they do when they come to Canada. And one of the topics that is very important to have ready right when you start your life in Canada is your banking. And we know newcomers are looking out for trusted advice. They're looking out for information that they know they can believe in. And this is where the relationship with Canada Visa comes from. We're going to provide regular content that they can trust that explains the Canadian banking system to them. Topics as simple as what are the different types of checkings accounts and savings accounts, how to build a credit score, how to save for life in Canada, how to save for your retirement, through to more complicated topics like how to save for home buying, how does the mortgage process work, how do taxes work. And we aim to be that source to educate them, whether they're outside of Canada and still working on their immigration process or whether they're newly arrived, to help them learn the basics and the details of the Canadian banking system.
But if we look at Canada, Canada has already announced that they are ready to settle around 1.45 million new immigrants in Canada in the coming years. So how do you see rapid growth of newcomers in Canada?
So the rapid growth, it's really astounding, right? You mentioned some of the numbers. We're expecting just under 1.5 million new Canadians over the next 3 years. The 5 years from 2016 to 2021 only had 1.3 million. Right, so that growth you can see is absolutely incredible. Immigration already accounts for 80% of Canada's population growth, about 100% of Canada's labor force growth. So we do expect immigration to continue to drive the economy, and the numbers all prove that out. There's a whole bunch of other statistics we can get into, but I think beyond the numbers, just what immigration brings to us is the richness of the cultural perspective. It's the diversity. It's when you go out to the street and you look at all of the options of restaurants that you can eat at in the GTA, for example. Like, this is the qualitative benefit of immigration and the way it enriches our life, our culture, our experience as Canadians. And that's what we're most excited about. Our branches, our people at TD really reflect the communities that we serve, and we're excited to continue to do that as immigration continues to grow.
Okay, let's talk about this strategic relationship. Why Canada Visa and what is the reason behind this strategic relationship?
So Canada Visa, to put it simply, is the world's #1 news website when it comes to immigration to Canada. It's already the most trusted resource outside of the government that anybody interested in immigrating to Canada uses to find out details about the immigration process, to find out news and new developments that the government puts out, to talk about their experiences, to ask questions of people that have immigrated recently. They have over 2 million users on a monthly basis that visit their site. They have 900,000 users that are active on their discussion forum. And so we identified and we see Canada Visa as the #1 source that people interested in immigrating to Canada already use. to get their information. And that's where, I spoke a little bit about how our goal here is to really provide trusted advice and information to these, newcomers and potential newcomers. We see Canada Visa as really the perfect partner where we can deliver that message and reach the most amount of new Canadians.
But when it's about, like you mentioned, it's about trusted advice and trusted resource, then why this is designed only for 2 years?
2 years is the initial term of the strategic partnership. We have a whole bunch of tactics planned for the 2 years. We're very excited to launch a number of different initiatives with Canada Visa. We already have a few different articles on their website. We have information on all of our product offers and the benefits that we have for new Canadians. We're looking forward to seeing what we can accomplish with them, over the next 2 years and potentially beyond.
And what does this relationship entail?
It entails a number of things. That's a really good question. So number one, first and foremost, it's about delivering a regular stream of content and advice to newcomers on some of the topics that I mentioned, like bank accounts, like building credit, like buying a house, and like saving for retirement. It also includes making sure newcomers are equipped with information on the offers available to them when they land in Canada. They have, as I mentioned, a lot of things on their mind when they arrive in Canada, banking being just one of them. So we want to make sure when it comes to the products and services that we offer to new Canadians and that we include on our Canada Visa properties, we make sure to combine all of the banking needs that a newcomer has into one easy to understand package. So they have to spend as little of their time as possible trying to figure out all of their individual needs. We make that easy for them. So that's another way we'll deliver that information through Canada Visa.
So Mr. Mohammed, whenever a newcomer begins his or her journey in Canada, how important do you think is consistent stream of reliable content and resources from a Canadian brand?
There's a lot of information out there, and especially in the age of the internet and social media, it's very easy to search for information and find something and not know if it's true or not. And we know in something as complicated and as important as banking, having a trusted source is really important. Now, before they arrive in Canada, it's difficult to walk into a branch. It's impossible to walk into a TD branch and ask the question yourself. So the next best thing is, how do we go on the properties where these potential immigrants and new immigrants are already looking for information, are already members of when it comes to the forum, are already subscribed to the newsletter, and be that trusted source for them to provide the information that they need.
So can you tell us more in detail what TD Bank is exactly providing to Canada Visa in this program for the newcomers?
Sure. So when it comes to the relationship with Canada Visa, we've got regular stream of content in the form of articles that explain different parts of the Canadian banking system, in the form of webinars where TD representatives will explain, will go into deeper discussion on some of those topics. We've got a number of resources on their website that talk about the different products and offers that we have for new Canadians, market-leading offers that, as I mentioned, combine all of their day-to-day banking needs into one package. We've got a number of tactics with them planned for the future as well, in terms of playing a more active role on things like their forum, on being there to answer the specific questions of their users as well.
We'll continue to learn more about this strategic relationship, but right now it's time for a short break. We'll take a short break and we'll be right back. Welcome back after the break. We are in conversation with Mr. Mohammed Kara, who is Senior Manager in Canadian Personal Banking. So as we are talking about the strategic relationship, if we look from the newcomer perspective, when they land in Canada, they have many questions. They have many things going in their mind, how to settle, how to get their financial the advice, their banking done. So what is TD exactly providing to the newcomer?
That's a really good question. It's a very important question. I would say that really the way TD approaches this is via a three-pronged approach. So number one, we recognize that the number one need for newcomers right away is trusted advice. And in a lot of times, it's trusted advice in the languages that they're comfortable in. And that's where, going back to my point on how our people reflect the communities they serve, people across the nation in TD branches speak over 50 languages. Our ATMs are available in 7 languages, and we're the only bank that even offers Punjabi as an option on our ATMs. We have phone channel support, if you call us on the phone in over 200 languages. And so we recognize and we're ready to deliver that advice and that support in whatever channel, whether it's in person or over the phone or online in over 10 languages, in the language that the customer is most comfortable in. Beyond the advice, we recognize that not all newcomers are the same. The needs of a permanent resident are different than the needs of an international student. To give you one example, for the international student, before they even arrive in Canada, if we're talking about a student that's in India that's looking to study in Canada, we offer a free, fully digital GIC program that they can use to open their account at TD to fund the GIC that they need for their study permit, all in India, all for free, all digital. And we're the only bank to offer all of those capabilities. They can then, when they land in Canada, with their study permit, with their enrollment, we offer a market-leading package that combines all of the day-to-day banking products they need: the checking account, the savings account, the credit card. It also gives them free ability to send money back to their home country or anywhere internationally for 12 months. And we also throw in an Amazon Prime membership to really ease their transition to life in Canada. These benefits are valued, we value up to $600. And so we recognize that the needs of an international student and any new Canadian, before they arrive, after they arrive, are different. And they also do not need to spend their time researching each individual portion of their banking package. We aim to make that easy for them and to deliver solutions that combine and meet all of their needs and provide them additional value on top of that.
Definitely, TD is making it easy for newcomers, but if you look at other banks, other big banks, they are providing services to newcomers too. So how do you think TD has positioned himself to be the best service for the newcomers?
It goes back to kind of the three key principles, right? So it goes back to our ability to serve the customers in their language of choice. I mentioned some of the ways we lead the market when it comes to languages. It comes back to our ability to deliver that advice, whether it's through our own channels, through our branch network of 1,100 branches, whether it's through the phone channel, through our website, or through our partners like the Canada Visa relationship. And it goes back to the offers that we have for newcomers, our ability to make their banking decisions simple via the packages that combine all of their products, and valuable if you look at all of the benefits that we include for newcomers. And so across those three areas, the advice, the languages, and the offers themselves, we believe we have a leading proposition for the newcomers.
As you mentioned about the languages, I know you mentioned about Punjabi too, but if I recall the time when I landed in Canada as a newcomer and I look into other newcomers itself, they appreciate the ability that they can open their bank account, get the financial advice, get their banking services done in their own native language. So is TD, apart from this Punjabi or English service, is working multilingual?
For sure. So in branches, where we invite all newcomers to come and, talk to us about their needs, we service newcomers and any customer in over 50 languages. We also have the ability to service even in languages that we don't speak, via our phone channel, where we service in over 200 languages. We know a lot of customers, especially, younger ones, are more comfortable online. And so if you look at our New to Canada website and all of the guides that we have there, we publish them in over 10 languages. And so we have the ability as well, across the channels, across all of our channels, physical and virtual, to meet the language needs of all new Canadians.
And if we look from newcomer perspective, moving to a new country is exciting but overwhelming. So how TD makes sure that their financial transaction is done in a smooth process, so that is the one thing they don't have to worry about?
For sure, and that comes back to the simplicity of our packages for new Canadians. We talked a little bit about international students. Our other main banking package for new Canadians that we build for permanent residents and for foreign workers includes our unlimited checking account. So the one where you don't have to worry about any transaction count. You can use the account as much as you want, and it waives all of the transaction fees for 12 months. So for 1 year, you don't have to worry about the fees. It also gives you an incentive on top of that. So right now, that's $300 in additional rewards, for opening that account. It includes a savings account with a bonus interest rate to help you save faster. It includes a credit card, your choice of multiple credit cards, all with their own set of rewards. It includes the ability to send money internationally for free for 12 months. It includes Amazon Prime as well. These benefits, in this package that I just described, are valued at almost $1,600. And this is one package that meets all of their needs at the same time. So when you mention, simplicity, not needing to think about each individual decision, this is how we aim to do it. And it's not just about making it simple and easy, but it's also about making it valuable and delivering a really good experience to the newcomer right away.
And if we look at the number of newcomers landing in Canada, the population of refugees is also increasing in that. So how TD is approaching this segment?
This is a very important group of customers and people and newcomers to Canada. So I'm very happy that you asked about that. We, when it comes to refugees, we really have a number of approaches. So one is through our various sponsorships and initiatives. We do sponsor a number of organizations that are committed to helping refugees settle in Canada. From a financial perspective, from a volunteering perspective as well. We also recognize the immense talent that refugees have, and we have a number of programs that aim to bring refugees into our hiring pipeline, into the bank itself, and to provide employment and to benefit from the talent, from the experiences that these refugees are bringing. And three, we aim to make their own banking process easier. I'll give you a quick example on that, just based on the most recent refugee scenario, which is the crisis and the war in Ukraine. When that started, we did a couple of things really quickly. One is that when we go back to the language topic, we translated a number of our online material into Ukrainian, recognizing that these individuals will be coming via the government program on a work permit or a study permit, will be coming in the short term, may not have proficiency in English or French, will need information on banking. So we published a number of materials that can help them understand how the Canadian banking system works, how it might be different to what they're used to in their native language. We also went on site as the government and other organizations brought in refugees and migrants from Ukraine, and they housed them, let's say, in a hotel or on a university. When they first arrived, we went there. We went on site. We opened accounts for them. We gave them our banking packages, the one I mentioned with all of the benefits, and we opened that for them on site with representatives who spoke Ukrainian. And so we made sure as well, aside from the sponsorship, aside from the donations and the volunteering, aside from the hiring, we also meet the banking needs of the refugees in a way that is convenient to them and is valuable to them.
Definitely, it's helpful, I believe. Well, Mr. Mohammed, thank you so much for coming to our studio and talking about this important topic. Definitely, I believe this would be beneficial for the newcomers. Thank you so much. At the end, would you like to add anything for our viewers?
Sure. So it's been truly my pleasure to be here with you on this program. If I could say one more thing, I would say this. At TD, we've been welcoming and serving newcomers for over 100 years. In that time, and if you look at our customers today, we've built relationships with over 16 million Canadians. We're very excited about the growth of immigration in Canada, not only the economic growth, but also the richness it brings to the culture that we experience and benefit from in our lives every day. We believe we have the advice, we have the support, we have the channels, we have the products and the offers to best meet the needs of new Canadians, and we're very excited about our new partnership with Canada Visa that will help us even more in that regard. But most of all, we're excited to build relationships with the next generation of immigrants. We expect significant growth, as we all do in this segment going forward, and we're very excited to meet them, to build the relationships with them, and to show them why TD is the best bank to meet all of their needs.
Thank you so much, and we wish you all the very best.
Thank you very much.
So, ऐसी साड़ी खास गलबात कैनेडियन पर्सनल बैंकिंग ਦੇ ਸੀਨੀਅਰ ਮੈਨੇਜਰ ਮਿਨਿਸਟਰ ਮੁਹੰਮਦ ਕਾਰਾ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਉਮੀਦ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਸਾਡੀ ਇਹ ਖਾਸ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਪਸੰਦ ਆਈ ਹੋਵੇਗੀ। ਸੋ ਜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਵੀ ਐਜ਼ ਅ ਨਿਊਕਮਰ ਕੈਨੇਡਾ ਆਏ ਹੋ ਜਾਂ ਫਿਰ ਆਉਣ ਦਾ ਮਨ ਬਣਾ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ ਤਾਂ ਇੱਕ ਵਾਰ ਇਸ ਸਟ੍ਰੈਟੇਜਿਕ ਰਿਲੇਸ਼ਨਸ਼ਿਪ ਦਾ ਫਾਇਦਾ ਜ਼ਰੂਰ ਉਠਾਓ। ਧੰਨਵਾਦ।